viewers, I welcome you all to the second part of the episode on managing tourism products. We have discussed in our last episode about the product strategies, product related decisions, product portfolios and new tourism product development. In continuation to the inputs of our last episode, we shall in today's episode learn about the following segments: tourism product life cycle, extending product life cycle, pricing and pricing approaches for tourism products, branding of tourism products, marketing strategies for tourism products. Let us start with tourism product life cycle. Every product goes through a life cycle. The end of a new product development is the beginning of a product life cycle. Tourism products are no different to manufactured goods in this case, be it an attraction like Ajanta caves or a cultural feast like the Rio Carnival. Every tourism product has to go through the time scale from one stage to another. There was huge craze of beaches in Pondicherry 3 decades back. Today, there are hardly any beaches worth attraction in Pondicherry. There is an effort to bring back the lost glory and give a new life. This is one example to substantiate how tourism products also pass through different stages of life cycle. We shall discuss the 5 stages of product life cycle. They can be listed as introduction, growth, maturity, saturation and decline. Any product has to pass through these stages, but period of each stage differs from product to product. Since each product is determined by several factors such as demand, competition, promotional strategies, internal management, environmental, political, socio-economic and other external factors. Generally, a bell-shaped curve with the 5 stages from introduction to decline is used to represent a product life cycle. Every stage goes through some changes one after the other and is characterized by some features of differentiation. Let us begin with the first stage of tourism product life cycle, that is introduction. This is the stage where the product is introduced into the market. This can be referred as the stage of birth or launch. Some of the features of this stage can be listed as: since it is a fresh product in the market, it is not much known to the tourist and obviously due to this reason has lesser demand. There can be exceptions to this generalization. Suppose if the development of the product has already created great hype, it may attract huge number of visitors at the launch of the product itself, as it happened with the launch of Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Costs of development and production of a new product are high at this stage and returns are less. This mainly happens with a lot of newly launched tour packages or theme parks in tourism industry. Well, if the product is unique in itself and does not fall into the category of imitations, such products will have either no or very limited competitors in the market during this stage, but may have a great scope in the later stage. Investment is almost not there. Local community plays a vital role in the maintenance of such attractions which are discovered and launched. Marketing and promotional strategies during this stage are intended to create awareness and trying to up the sales. Next is growth. A product moves into its stage of growth after completing the stage of introduction. It is in this stage that it starts growing in terms of its demand and acceptance in the market. More people come to know about the product and profits also slowly starts increasing. With regard to tourism products such as an attraction, more number of visitors starts coming through, not in great numbers, but it is in the increasing order. Some of the other features of this stage are: the product may find identical competitors making entry into the industry. Awareness about the product gradually increases. There is an increased effort in marketing to fight competition. For destinations, one can find entry of investors and local community becomes active in its participation. Next stage is maturity. Maturity is the next stage after passing through the stage of growth. This is an important stage of any product. A product becomes full blown and is full of life and energy, as are humans in their youth. It is evident from most of the tourism attractions and services in the Southeast Asian countries that they are growing through the stage of maturity. Some of the visible features of this stage are: product is known and identified across the market and has greater acceptance, resulting in higher demand. High demand means high returns on its sales. At the same time, competition in the market also becomes intense as substitutes products also grows during this stage. For tourist destination, great number of investors come in. As the resources are exploited, the local community is loggerhead with visitors and the outsiders. Next stage is saturation. As one has to reach its optimum level at one stage, tourism products also reach their optimum level during this stage of saturation. It is that stage of life cycle where visitation to a destination is at its best and highest. Sale of a package tour is maximum and returns of also equally the highest. A product has grown to such a stage from where it cannot go further. Some of the salient features of this stage are: the entry of new competitors is not seen as the market is already filled. The markets get saturated and the firms continue with previous marketing strategies to stay on. Demand gets stagnated towards the end of the stage and sales stabilize. This stage leads gives indication of fall towards the later stage. The final stage is decline. The last stage would be a decline. Any product has to lose its importance and acceptance in the market one day. And after saturation, a product enters into the stage of decline or fall. A tourist destination may not be as attractive as it was, or a package tour may look irrelevant during this stage. This results in decline of sales and rejection from the market. This could be an exit stage for many products. Moving on to the next topic, extending product life cycle. After going through the product life cycle, does it mean that there is no life after decline? Or is there any way a product decline is averted to some point? Truly speaking, every product will exit from the market at some point of time, but there is still life for products even after their decline. It is also possible to avert the products from decline stage. Now the question is, how can we avert? It is important for market experts to study the products on a long-term basis. Identify the current status of products and find out if a product is not losing its demand in the market. Let us understand how a product's life cycle can be extended. A new lease of life can be given to products by re-engineering, redesigning or rejuvenating. As an example, Puducherry was in its extreme decline stage in 2000 and the destination was rejuvenated by improving tourism infrastructure, redesigning the places around vital attractions and training the human resource. At the same time, products can also be given an extended life by identifying new markets. For instance, Puducherry again identified new markets for its survival. It has become a hotspot as a weekend destination. The new metropolitan software professionals and other working youth from Bengaluru and Chennai are its newfound markets. The destination management committees, travel firms and other decision makers should keep track of their products in the respective markets and make changes as and when required to avoid sudden fall and give an extended period to tourism products life cycle. In continuation our discussion, we shall now take up pricing and pricing approaches for tourism products. Price of tourism products has great impact on certain market segment. Some products are exclusively popular due to competitive pricing in tourism industry. From travel companies who design tour packages to primary service providers such as transport, hotel and entertainment service providers, everybody is influenced in determining prices of their products. Since demand for a tour package is futuristic, risk factor plays an important role. Right pricing is the toughest one and plays a crucial role in acceptance of tourism products in the market. In fixing price of a product, firms must consider certain factors, and these factors could be product quality, competition level in the market, behavioral patterns of consumers, product distinctiveness and a firm's distribution capacity. Having done this groundwork, one can choose appropriate approaches or techniques of pricing. Some of those pricing approaches could be introductory pricing, penetration pricing, rate of return pricing, cost plus pricing, backward pricing or market oriented pricing. Next to learn about tourism product is branding of tourism product. How do consumers differentiate products? Why do they try to associate themselves with a few selective products? Does this have anything to do with the image of a product? What impression do consumers have about their favorite products? These questions will have a single answer, and that is a brand. A brand to define is a distinct identity of a product. It could be a symbol generating an image for a product. It could be a logo, a name, a sign, a design, a trademark or a combination of them. One of the major objectives of a brand is to create a strong mental image in the minds of the consumers about the product and its associated benefits. What comes to our mind the moment we read the phrase "Incredible India"? It is easy for us to associate the core attributes of the product being offered. It is a simple technique of communication and impressive tool of creating a mental image of the product. These are some of the attributes of quality brands. That's what a brand is supposed to do. Easy to associate, simple communicate and to be able to create a strong mental image. Apart from these, the other attributes of a brand should be to draw attention, to differentiate its offerings, to distinguish its identity and to create brand equity. It would be easier for us to follow what a brand and branding exercise is all about. We should understand some of the related concepts. To start with, let me give you the meaning of branding. Branding is the management process conceiving, designing, launching, promoting and creating a brand. This process involves giving a brand name to a product and designing a unique mark of its own to popularize and establish in the market. The other concepts to understand are brand name, brand mark, trade name, trademark, copyrights and patents. A brand name is an undetachable part of a brand which may consist of a letter, a word, a phrase intended to identify goods and services and differentiate it with others in the market environment. To mention some, there are brand names such as Thomas Cook, IRCTC, Cox and Kings. A brand mark is associated with the brand which appears in the form of a design, logo, symbol or color. It is to give the visual identity for a brand. Likewise, when a brand name or brand mark is registered and legalized, it becomes trademark. A trademark is given legal protection as it capable of exclusive appropriation. And the concept of copyright relates to books, publication and other arts. It also entrusts the sole right to reproduce musical, artistic, dramatic or literary work to avoid duplication and has legal immunity. Branding in tourism is much more a complex exercise than others. It covers establishing brands in diverse fields such as destinations, airlines, hotels, trains, tour operators, travel agents, elite services, etc. There are a variety of brands in the market. They can be classified in different ways. Let's look at the types of brands. Brands can be of manufacturers or distributors. Some tour operators who sell tour packages by branding their product but may not specifically mention the name of an airline. At the same time, they may ensure and promise quality of airline service. Such branding is called as private branding. In case the principal service provider does mention the name of an airline, which could be a brand in itself, then it is called as manufacturer's brand. There are other brands which are multiple or individual brands. Each product item of a company is promoted as a separate brand as it happens with Unilever and its products. And their brands which are called as blanket or single brands. These have a single brand name for all its products as Fevicol does the magic for all its products. Is not it a wonderful example of blanket branding where all the 7 sisters of Northeast India are collectively branding as Paradise Unexplored. Destination branding is the most widely visible form of branding exercise in tourism industry apart from the corporate branding. Every destination is working hard to compete to increase their brand equity. Whatever the type of branding is, the ultimate aim of any manufacturer is to attract consumers and develop a relationship. Moving on to the next, marketing strategies for tourism products. While branding could be one of the strategies of marketing and promotion of tourism products, there are a number of other strategies equally effective in the existing market environment. Any marketing strategy must have right balancing of marketing mix. The best of marketing elements is a challenging job. The basic elements of traditional marketing mix of product, place, promotion and price should be integrated after a thorough assessment of the requirement. This process may include packaging of the right kind of experiences and services as products, identifying the most appropriate distribution channels to reach out to the target markets, fixing competitive price tags through suitable pricing approaches and designing the most appealing promotional mix. A promotional strategy should be designed to take the product attributes and benefits to the target markets. Any such promotional program must include identifying target audience, determining promotional objectives, determining the promotional budget, and establishing the mix of promotional elements. The mix can be done through two lines. One is above the line promotional execution and other one is below the line promotional execution. Above the line refers to the highly visible, image driven and public advertising focused elements such as magazines, newspapers, trade and professional press, billboards, radio, television, cinema and web banners. And below the line refers to the very personalized promotional executions such as exhibitions and trade fairs, direct mail, point of sale, packaging, personal selling, e-marketing, sales promotions and special offers, public relations media, familiarization trips and others. We shall now discuss some of the strategies in brief. Let me start with the consumer's advertising. Consumer advertising can be done studying the consumer profiles, viewership numbers, their economic status, interest areas, activity preferences, demographic attributes and behavioral patterns. Consumer advertising is intended to inform and persuade consumers about merits of a product being promoted. Advertising in this case is aimed at individual and the domestic and family markets. Most tour packages are sold through this strategy of marketing in tourism. Generally, consumers are reached through television, radio, magazines, newspapers, internet, direct mail or sponsorships. The creative and innovative application of outdoor advertising will draw the tourist for sure. This might especially work well for marketing of travel modes such as rental cars, radio cabs, buses, tourist taxis at railway stations and airports. Impact of consumer advertising is individualized and so are the results of such advertising strategy. The next marketing strategy could be personal selling. Have you ever thought how important your personal skills are? They are of great use even in marketing. Personal selling strategy refers to those skills of sales force who promote a product through their attitude, appearance and product knowledge. A face-to-face travel advisory launch is a wonderful place of personal selling in offline travel business. Companies also send their marketing professional to the doorsteps to sell their products. This is very common with corporate sales in travel industry where professional managers visit corporate offices to crack travel business deals. Apart from office space, personal selling firms also use other platforms to apply this strategy. And these could be consumer exhibitions, trade workshops, travel academics, trade familiarization trips and trade fairs such as ITB in Berlin and World Travel Mart in London. A coordinated effort by coming together of public and private sector partners in organizing special promotional events is another promotional strategy. These partners may conduct theme-based events such as street shows, cultural events, special interest club activities and other special programs to promote products. Sponsoring events in promotion is also an appealing technique of marketing. Large tour operating companies do this. For example, Thomas Cook sponsored the travel needs of FIFA 2010. Not to forget the role of the public relations and communication as an important strategic partner in marketing tourism products. They are the most cost-effective ways of promotions. Electronic media communication through a variety of electronic and printed versions makes a huge impact on consumers. There is another sharp way of marketing in the form of media familiarization trips.